All right. Hello. I'm Zeospantera, the host of Z Reviews, and the Inner Fetish channel where I am, stuff happens, and I want to thank all my patrons and subscribers, our supporters for everything they've done. But we got to go back to CD players. So, currently have two. I have this FiiO DM13, which, for the price and what it is pretty remarkable. And I want to straighten something out in a second. We also have the Black Ice Audio Fusion DAC Transport, which is no longer sold by them, I don't think. But it's $3,000. But I'm borrowing this from Black Ice not because of the CD aspect, which it is current. What? All right. That's Drake. Oh, God. Yeah. He's not as cute as Chewbacca, but man, is he noisy. I didn't borrow this from them because of the CD player aspect. CD player. Oh, he's in a box. That's not your box. Okay, you can use it for a bit. At least he's fucking cute. Anyway, I didn't borrow this from Black Ice because if it's a CD player. I bought it, or I borrowed it, because it is a tube DAC CD transport, which means you have fiber optic, USB, and a Wi-Fi. It'll actually act as an endpoint. I don't know if it'll act as a Rune endpoint, but it's a little too old for that, I think. But this is the most different sounding DAC I've ever heard. So I'm going to give it a little review. In fact, it's currently outputting from here into Valencia via some chokes and, a volume knob. And then this thing, which, oh my God, can't you just not, well, that one's empty. Just, I wonder if you gave this to like a full Gen Z or if they would know how to get it out without breaking the disc in half. Because, I mean, it says push, but when was the last time you had to, like, satisfactorily put a CD back in a thing? All right, so this is going to be a disjointed fucking mess. So let's get on with it. Because I brought out the other CD player that I kept. I sold the big SMSL one that was like $700 with the great little metal keys. They were so fucking nice. But, and then we have the Shanling, which, you know what? What are you? The EC Mini. So you were a portable, and I mean it's like it's got straps to carry it, slot load CD player with fingerprints all over the glass. Very pretty, very Shanling, RCA outs, USB DAC charge, micro SD, which allowed you to use this as a portable DAP with a terrible little screen to try to do DAP things, and headphone out, and volume. Now this thing was like $400? I don't actually remember the total price. It wasn't even that pricey. This thing, in this form factor, which is the Bluetooth revision and the glass top, or plastic top, $170. If you want it without the glass top, $150. And if you want it without Bluetooth, it's $139. It looks like that. Available in colors. So I want to clear this thing up that I did last time I did CD stuff. Last time I did CD stuff, everyone took it when I was complaining that I don't like physical media. Wrong. I absolutely love physical media. I hope they sell Blu-rays forever and CDs forever, because then you own... Look, I spent $40 on this. It's a David Chesky in New York Rags CD. $40 fucking US dollars. But I did get it from Luca Chesky, his son, at Florida Audio Expo, because he was selling those to pay for the room. So his dad probably gave him a bunch of unopened CDs. He's like, here, sell these for profit. So there, boom, real CD. I own it. No one can take it away from me. I don't own the copyright of it, but there you go. So I'm going to give a brief review of this, because there's not much to say other than it is a CD player, which has one of the best sounding DACs. Like, if you want a DAC that sounds different, fucking yes. Which is why it's running into Valencia, which is my collab headphone amp with Orchard Audio. And if we plug in the Empyrean 2s, which, yes, I filled that in with like a paint marker, and put the nuggets. And, by the way, in case you didn't notice, it's coming. And it'll be available both on APOS and Heart Audio. The Heart Audio adapters are here. And actually, they're made in the same factory that makes the Magia cable, because Heart Audio couldn't get the right parts and it would just be too much work. But it's okay, because Heart Audio is involved. It's taking a percentage. because I want it to be a Heart Audio style thing and no one gets fucked over in my line of work. Anyway, one toke over the line. In a railway station. Currently, the Fear and Loathing soundtrack is in this one. This is Backcountry. All right. Ignore this for now. That. And in fact, let's steal this. Ooh. And go here. Ooh. And then pause it. Because this CD player is kind of wild. Like, this is the kind of stuff I would imagine that if you made a 2025 CD player, it'd be able to do this. I had to find the manual online, and then I realized that this giant, like, Quick Start Guide, Quick Start Guide is larger than the unit it's for. And really, there's only one important page, and it's this one. All this other stuff is different languages of the same thing over and over and over and over again. And frankly, this is a terrible manual. It's called a Quick Start Guide, which means it should have a full manual somewhere. I can't find it. Because this CD player, which as you can see is not being powered by anything because it's got an internal battery, will output fiber optic and coaxial digital, or 3.5, or balanced out on the rear. So you could use this as its own DAC, because the volume control is here, or headphone out, 4.4 and 3.5 in the front, or Bluetooth out. So if you have a Bluetooth speaker, you can literally plug a CD into this, plop a CD into this, and then connect this to your Tri-Bit Stormbox Blast. I did a review of that a while ago, and it sits in the back there in my basement, and I have another brand new one. I think it's an amazing Bluetooth boombox, you know, rivals the JBLs and all the fucking Bose shit. So that's your options with this, or, because it keeps going, or you can hook it up. All right, I'm going to have to unplug this. Oh, Jesus, you tight boy. Look, it still spins. So, balanced line out. It says line out, which doesn't mean pre-out, so that maybe that's it. Then you have line out 3.5, coaxial or optical out. Notice it's not lit up because you have to put it in a special mode for different outputs, probably to conserve battery. Then you have USB record, USB-C, power in USB-C, an ESP on-off switch, and a D-mode on-off switch. So, what is that little door? I didn't notice this little... This must be something you deal with if you've taken the unit apart. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's an add-on slot? I miss when things had add-on slots. So I'll give a quick rundown. Either one of these USBs can be used to charge it. If you hook it up to a computer, it doesn't... You can rip... This will rip CDs using... It'll act as a CD drive in your computer. It will play MP3 CDs and FLAC on CDs, but according to a Reddit post, because that's where everyone does their research, tons of problems. I'm going to refer to this Reddit post on our CD collectors, apparently. I would expect our Audiophile... No, fuck it, our CD collectors. They're actually having, like, real conversations. I'm mildly okay that I'm banned from our Audiophile and our headphones, because it tends to get a little crazy there. If you're on those subreddits, don't mention my name. I'm like Voldemort. You can't say my name there. But I read all the problems they had, and then there was a firmware update, and they fixed a lot of the problems. But there's some... I'm going to tell you a feature before I tell you what's wrong with it, and you're going to be like, wow, Zeos, that's fucking awesome. And then you're going to be like, aw. This unit, standalone, will rip a CD audio to a USB stick from the unit without any computer involved in real time. Which means if it's 74 minutes of music, it takes 74 minutes to literally output it. And it's like, why? That's useless. It's basically useless. And you have to, and here's the thing, the instructions, which this is a thing, it says it's a thing, that's what the USB rec is for. Don't mention it. At least this book doesn't mention it. How to do it. Apparently you got to hold the play pause button for a long while, and you got to have a fat 32 4-minute thing in the USB record thing. and then the power in is used there. But if you want to use it for a computer, you got to use it with the USB and the USB record thing, and then the power in doesn't need to be used. But either one will charge it. And then D mode is desktop mode, which doesn't use the battery to run the unit because you're using it for a desktop. So obviously you don't need to kill the battery. However, and this hasn't been confirmed on Reddit or on anything I've read, putting it in desktop mode, despite that not using the battery, the USB still charges the battery regardless of the switch, which means it's going to constantly charge your battery all the fucking time, which is mostly the reason why you would not want there to be like if it didn't have an on-off switch, it would just be bad for the battery. When X2O gives you a switch and it's either charge or battery or whatever, when you don't set it, the battery is cut off and doesn't charge. Because constantly charging the battery for 2 years will destroy the battery. And running it off the battery constantly will kill the battery. And that D switch, although it isn't running off the battery, it's still charging the battery. So it's kind of like, why? Not confirmed if that's how it's operating. But if you're charging unless it charges the battery at 99, it doesn't charge it again until it gets to 70, in which case it would probably sit there for a couple months. But they don't tell you. ESP is shock protection. So if I put this on right now, I don't have ESP on. Let's get to a song that's playing. Come on. Hitting a next track button and having to wait. Fuck. I do not miss this. I miss some things. Very quiet track. All right. So ESP is off. No skipping. This is also a real CD from a real thing. ESP on apparently damages the sound quality. In fact, it says it in here. If you're using it in a stable environment, shut ESP off for better sound quality because it's not buffering the audio. Let me tell you about back in my day, we had something called 90-second skip protection. That was the dick measuring competition of portables. It was, what do you got? 45-second skip protection? We've got 55-second skip protection. And it did that shit for years. That was all CD players could improve on, was the amount of time you could fucking shake it where it had the audio already buffered. So basically it's enabling an audio buffer. I'm on the desk and I don't plan it. It doesn't really, I guess you could take it portable. It's got a locking thing and it does work. It's running right now. If I unpause this, it's playing music. We are technically a hipster right now. Oh my God, I have my boutique cable around my CD player while I go to Starbucks with my $2,000 headphone. Yeah, you could absolutely be the biggest asshole. Like no one in porn will even compete with how much asshole you've got. We still got to talk more features, more options. The headphone amp, by the way, claims 600 milliwatts, which is pretty good. I am near the top here. I'm at 96 out of 99 to push Empyrean 2. But I was also, all right, let's go back into this, into the LO Coax Opt. And now I want to switch it from the headphone out here to the coaxial digital. So we hit the power button and we press it once and we get BAT 5, which means fully charged. Pre-out is current setting. Repeat is currently off. ESP is currently on. And D mode is currently off. So let's shut off ESP because we're sitting still. You could just look at the back to see if that's on or off, but it's going to give you on the display. So ESP off when I flipped it is cool. I think while it's playing, I have to tap again. USB out, SPDIF out, blue out, or pre-out. Those are my 4 choices, and it stops the CD while you're picking. So if we want SPDIF out, it no longer outputs from the headphone amp. So it shuts the headphone amp portion off, again, to save battery. This makes sense. Normally, I would expect everything to be out all at once. You could have it outputting from the back, outputting from the front, maybe hook up to Bluetooth to be different. But they're trying to save battery life because you are spinning a fucking motor. So now music is playing, but not through here. Oh my God. I can't wait till he sells more of these in his normal kits. Magia nuggets. So now I'm listening through the Aun Flamingo, which is also, by the way, pushing through the Black Ice audio as well. So I wanted to go full nutty buddy. I could do dis. And now we're feeding, well, an entire thing. So that means I get to listen to the output quality of this. I mean, granted, this is a tube thing and this is not, but FiiO has an amazing reputation for their dongles and their Bluetooth devices, BTR7, BTR17, all amazing stuff. The new K11R2R, amazing. But their DAPs, and I haven't gotten around to these yet, like here's the, the 21, the Jam 21. They were all a little bit, like, bland sounding. And this is a $150 CD player, well, actually $139. And so the output in the front, for like, granted, these are... Is that supposed to stand like that? That's wild. These are a little bit revealing, but I mean, that's fucking my job. A little bit revealing on the wallpapers, a little bit revealing on the sound. You get the picture. It's not the greatest headphone out. I wouldn't run $2,000 headphones out of it, but it's good enough for most things. When you output via optical or coaxial digital like this, you plug a real DAC in, a real thing, it makes the go. It does make the go. We have the sound quality because it's just fucking digital. Now, CD transports, if I were to just turn left for a second, which, by the way, I have blue tack or gray tack covering the power and indicator lights because Black Ice, this is an older unit. I wasn't there to fucking verbally abuse them for the use of blue LEDs, blue flashlights. Which hold on, I'm taking the camera off my head so I can just get real close to this. It has been so many years since I've seen that sort of interface. I think it's a vacuum. I forget what it's called. Vacuum something interface. And it's nostalgic as fuck. Look, it's showing me there's 16 tracks on here. Is it? Oh, it's blinking the one it's loading. Oh my god. Yeah. Hold on, putting this back on my body. What a CD player is, technically, is a CD player with analog outputs. So this does have that, but it also has digital outputs. In fact, we've got to walk around to see it. Here, look, fiber optic and coaxial digital outputs. That makes us a transport, which was a fancy way back in the day of saying, look, you could use your own DAC with this. Let's charge $1 million because it's a transport and only assholes are buying this. Here's your Wi-Fi antenna. This is your optical in, USB to connect to a PC. And then you have some of the nicest goddamn, like these are SKY things, but these XLRs are like NASA grade nice. You get a ground terminal, because why not? And I'm using a shitty power cable. Whatever. Look inside of it. Look. And according to Black Ice, they don't make this, they don't even have these tubes as an option anymore. I forget exactly what style they were. You can contact Black Ice and ask all about this unit. It's using the old logo, the old... Oh. The fact that it plays CDs is like a side fucking bar. Like, by the way, we made this really amazing tube DAC. Like, I have the KN one, and I talked about the KN one. This one actually has a little bit of noise, just a little bit of noise. I think just from its age. But my God, does it add tubiness to everything. So, what haven't I covered on this? Let's browse here real quick. We've talked about the output modes. We talked about Bluetooth. We talked about how you can output to it could rip CDs, but only at 1x, which is dumb. I don't know what format it rips it in. Does it put it to wave? Or it can't compress it, possibly. That would just... I didn't even bother. You know why? Because I don't have a USB-C thing, and like, no... I've already said what it does. Everyone in the forums is just like, don't bother. Don't bother. Oh, by the way, the glass on this, which I guess I should actually open this up. The glass in this is actually clear. This is the protective plastic it came with. It had a little tab to rip it off. But I like the blue. Like, it's so boring looking if it's just white with clear glass and your CD's there. The blue, I find, pleasing. Oh, this is there's a CD. Look at it. Look, it spins and everything. So I just didn't peel off the blue protective coating. It's perfectly fitting. There's no air bubbles underneath it, except for that one right there, which, of course, happens when I'm seeing it here. So one of my biggest problems with, like, this unit or the big SMSL was it was just too fucking much money. It's 2025. This is a nostalgia trip. And if you're taking it portable, you're kind of a hipster. Kind of a lot of a hipster. Like, just plopping this down at a library and then putting in your favorite CD, despite it, even if it was an MP3 CD with like 300 songs, like DAPs exist that are like free. The Sansa clip has existed forever. And I mean, I think the biggest draw to this probably now is, I mean, I have cousins who are like 18, 19. They don't know what a fucking CD is. They don't even have computers anymore. Computers are irrelevant. Laptop, what's that? Nah, I just take all my studies on my tablet or just my phone. Just my phone. And that means you're not going to have a CD. I made the assumption in my brain for the last, like, forever. Oh, people have a computer at home. They can drop the CD in their CD-ROM at home and rip the music. And that isn't a thing. That isn't even, like, probably a 20% thing anymore in people's homes. That's rare fucking occurrence that you actually have a CD-ROM drive. In fact, in the comments, raise your hands if you have a CD-ROM drive that you could put a CD or DVD in and rip the contents off of it. It's going to be a low number. Like 4 people would be like, upvote, I guess me. So we're going to see, for as long as CDs are still sold, which hopefully is for a while, we're going to see units that are trying to basically take over. Like, oh, did you want to rip that CD? I can do that for you. This ain't the unit to do it, and I don't think firmware is going to be able to make it do it fast. Right? There are probably better... I know there are, like, actual, like, $2,000 streamers, or more like $5,000 streamers. Streamers that are designed for 75-year-old people who go to audio shows to blow $7,000 on them, and then you could tell them a feature is it has a CD-ROM to rip all their music to their library. And people will pay $7,000 for that. This will do it for $150 to a USB key, but at 1x, which is useless. It's a useless feature. That's a useless feature. Even if you only did one song, you could apparently rip one track. You have to, like, get to it, hold on the play, pause, and it's like, all right, putting in ripping mode. No one's doing that shit. Ain't fucking nobody. You know, I could literally be like, hey, Alexa, download the thing to the thing, and it would happen faster than it would take to play the entire song back to a CD key. No, stop. So this unit, I don't mind if someone just takes it and you plop it down, probably right over your nice hot fucking CD. You know, jewel cases are, for those of you who are younger than, like, I don't know, 30, jewel cases are the worst. They break right here. The hinge, because the way they open, there's like this little plastic fucking bridge. Those will just snap, and then you'll have just one. And it doesn't quite fall out because it's got a little bit of a thing in it. So then you have like these janky fucking cases. And I was never really a fan of the artwork on these. It's not as good as vinyl. Like your vinyl, you get at least some real art. So, again, I like the fact that physical media exists. I want it to exist. I want you to be able to own your music and no one be able to take it away, and Spotify doesn't lose the rights to play blah, blah, blah. Or now Tidal owns it, and you only play that song on Tidal. Having your own music, physical, on a drive, on a CD, on a Blu-ray, I was waiting for the moment. This is how weird and old my brain is. I remember when Blu-rays came out, and I remember thinking, man, I'm going to fit so many MP3s on a burnable Blu-ray disc. I'll have my whole library to take with me. Yeah, that didn't work. So as far as the FiiO goes, did I even open the page to show you, like, it's on Amazon. So yeah, $169 for the transparent white, and then black Bluetooth is $154, and then fucking red Bluetooth. Look at it. It's red, but no window. That's kind of cool. $150 and then $139 for the bare bones basic, no Bluetooth one. Anything else that I missed from this? I think if you're interested in a CD player, you're going to do your own research on this regardless. So Do I recommend it? It's better than the more expensive ones. $150 for like a cutesy little thing that can do kind of like interesting, nice stuff. Hey, you can power its own headphones. Hey, it's got line outs. Hey, it's got optical and coaxial outs. Hey, you can power it off 2 USBs. Hey, it's got skip protection, which you do or do not need. I wish the desktop mode didn't. Desktop mode needs to cut the battery off so that it doesn't charge when you plug it in. And if you put it in desktop mode, you're going to plug it in anyway because you're going to be using power, but it's going to charge the battery. Those are the several key fuckeries on this. Desktop mode doesn't do what it needs to do, which is not charge the battery, and ripping CDs is useless, so that's not even a feature. It was a cool feature though. You were interested, right? I would even be kind of interested. I put a CD in, boom, it rips it in like 7 minutes. I'm like, that's kind of cool. 70 minutes? No. And back to this bastard for a second. So we're currently on CD. It's currently playing. Hold on. Memphis Blues again. So now if I don't want to play CD, let's look. Ooh, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Actually, I'm going to remove that CD because I'm done. Yes. There is a very satisfying. I'm going to do something very satisfying that most of you will never have done. There was something about that click. That I miss. So, selector here, CD, Wi-Fi, Toslink, USB. Wi-Fi, notice Toslink has a glob of gray. And that's got a glob of gray. And that is a click power button, but I want the tubes to be warm while I'm using it. So now this is acting from my computer, which has got fiber optic output going to the back of the unit. And then this whole fucking thing is just being used as a fiber optic in, balanced out DAC. No pre-out, no volume control. This probably has a remote control, but I didn't get it from them when I borrowed this at Capital Audio Fest. Because like I'm not going to actually sit there and change tracks with it. So, fuck that. But now, Otis Taylor didn't know much about education. Valencia. Empyrean 2. Tube DAC. Through 30 dB chokes, which are actually currently on -10. We can probably take it down to -20. Hold on. These are my gain controls, by the way. I will link these because I bought, well, they were like fucking $70 for the set. But, yeah, these are Altron MA123s, and they just simply act... Oh, God, there's so much tension in all these wires. They simply act as a choke from the signal coming directly from this at full voltage before Valencia, and then this is the adjustable, essentially, choke. Yeah, I could take these to murderously loud, and I'm 20 dB off. Let's go -30. Let's try the -30. Yeah, I could still run them. These efficient. So now the last part of this video is just me gushing over the fucking sound quality of Black Eye stuff here. Doesn't get featured in this channel enough. In fact, I've got their Fusion tube just like there. I have to make sure that that one may or may not have the headphone out in the front choked, like with resistors. If it doesn't, it's noisy. But if it does, it'll actually run real headphones like a real thing, but it's also a speaker amp. And I'll get that thing on the desk and give it its full review in a bit, just because. But Black Eye stuff has always been just a spectacular... And I need them to make one of these without the CD in it. Because they already make a DAC, but I don't think it's balanced. I have it. It's a little tiny thing. It's RCA only, and it has a volume pot. And I've actually used that to preamp Valencia. But then I was putting that against a Sparkos Gemini, and I was like, 50-50 on that. But this thing, please, Black Ice, I will send all customers there to bother you. Whatever this has in it, the magic it has in it, suck it out with a straw. Because that is making Valencia, which is the most transparent thing I've got in the house, sound like it's just a fucking wild tube amp. And Empyrean 2 can tell you. So yeah, I don't know how many more of these CD videos are going to come out in the next 15 fucking months, 80 years, every year. I've gotten their turntable, by the way. I have FiiO's turntable back there, so that'll be an interesting little review. I haven't gotten their cassette yet, because I specifically asked them for every color of their cassette. And then once I do that, I'm going to need to have, well, cassettes. So yippity fucking doodah, I got to go on eBay and buy a bunch of people's used cassettes, because there ain't no goddamn way I'm either buying a new one or even finding ones to borrow from people. Like these CDs I borrowed from my friend. He's like, I don't know, take whichever you want. Pulp Fiction, I like Pulp Fiction. Take that one. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy Volumes 1 and 2. Cool, take that. And then he gave me Viestoria Prat Keating, This Guardian at Noon. That sounds real pretentious. I'm into it. But right now, it's Back to the Future. Well, I get it. It's making a CD joke because we're actually back to the past now. So this video has been about the DM13. I'd still say if this was $300, I'd be shitting on lots of things. For what it is, and it's been playing the CD now on battery power just fine. Yes, all right, I'll accept you buying this. It's not overly big. It's not overly complicated. It does its job. This literally just says repeat one, repeat all, repeat random. So there it is. The CD player's done. If you're using it in your pocket, don't. Why the fuck are you doing that? Buy a DAP. But I would find these buttons would probably be hit a little bit too easily because they are on the front, like the top side. If they're on the edge here, it'd be a little bit harder if you had it certainly up or down, or they were a little recessed. So it's not designed for that, and I'm okay. This, while being designed for that, was terrible at it because it skipped anytime you looked at it. I'm going to say yes to this. Just don't be a big-ass hipster. Please, motherfucker, just stop. If you just wanted to have CD capability in your setup, this is fine. If you don't think that, if you just plug it in USB and the battery dies after 5 years, who cares if it's in your system and you're never moving it with it? It's fine. It's got its optical out. It's got analog out. It's fine. This is perfect. $150, $170. It's fucking fine. That thing I want to see come back. And any other CD players and stuff that you guys have noticed, just let me know in the comments. Like, hey, Zeos, have you heard of the ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba? And I'm going to be like, no, I haven't. And that's how we'll work it around from there. So yeah, I'm done. Thank you all for sitting through this second or third CD video I've made in like the last 18 months. I hesitate to fucking fathom. I'm sure another one will show up on my doorstep in due time. But until then, I'm going to listen to FLAC music streaming off my NAS to a laptop through other equipment that has nothing to do with the spinning discs that we have here. In fact, I'm just going to power that off and let it just sleep. To myself. It's Ava Cassidy. What a wonderful world of vocals. I love you, baby. Patreon subscribers to support this channel. $7 a month, you get to see reviews early, participate in yard sales, get to lossless sound demos. And for soon to be $15 a month, it is get into a private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat to ask me any questions you want, to get into the Lifetime Swap Meet channel, so that if you wanted to buy everyone's old CD players, I'm sure there are going to be some in there. There's none in there. Just like there's no tungstens in there. But that gives you lifetime access to that swap meet. And thank you for supporting the channel, and check out my collabs, link tree in the description. Valencia is pre-ordered currently at $1,600. When the pre-order ends, the price will be going up, but it'll also be showing up at a few retailers. We're talking with APOS right now. Nothing's in stone, but we're talking. And I will be attending Axpona. I'll be in the ear gear section at a table with I think I have 8 Valencias that should be ready to go. 3 being demoed and the rest all for sale. In fact, all of them are going to be for sale. So if you'd like to hear Valencia and then immediately purchase it, you can do that in Chicago, April 20th and the 21st and 22nd, somewhere in April. Are you good? I'm good. She's good. Wallpaper in the wallpaper horde. I got to clean up, put all these goddamn CDs away. I might leave you here for a while, though. Yeah, you're just a convenient table. Look at this. Look at this convenient tube table, right? Right? It's a good excuse.